You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Go for it, Jim. I'm the modern kid. Make yourself famous.
A podcast covering all things WWE.
I have now returned to save the WWE.
NXT.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
And AEW.
Holy wrestling. I couldn't be more happy.
Here are your hosts, Kyle Gagliardi and Jim Tucker.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi, and my co-host is my good friend, Jim Tucker, or as I like to call him, Tucky!
What's going on, Kyle?
Another day in paradise. We are 1 week away from Christmas, Tuck. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's flying by. Let's see. Yeah, a week from this weekend. One more day of school. I can do it. I'm holding on. I'm hanging in there.
Like I told you beforehand, you have 2 weeks off. I don't get the luxury of having that time off, so I'm extremely jealous of you right now.
Yeah, if I was you, I would be jealous of me too. But yeah, I'm excited. A couple of weeks off, and we're laying low. We're not overexerting ourselves. Not doing a lot of big travel, so it's gonna be nice. Because once we get back,
what you're up to.
Yeah, once we get back, we've got a week of school. Then we're off to San Francisco for the Hot Chocolate 15K. So we're gonna run that. And
man, you're just finding all these things to do that involve running voluntarily, and I'm very confused why you choose to do so.
Well, it's hilarious because like the thought of playing soccer is disgusting to me. I'm like, oh my God, that's so much running. I'll just sign up for this marathon instead. So it's a different vibe, but yeah, I'm excited. I haven't been to San Francisco since I've been out west. I haven't been in years, so I'm excited to head out that way and wear a mask everywhere for an entire weekend still.
Hey, before you know it, the way things are going, at least in professional sports, we all might be wearing masks very soon. Let's hope not.
It's nuts. I know.
I don't want to be taking a step back. And of course, we don't want any steps back heading into next month when we will be attending the Royal Rumble in St. Louis, because that would be a disaster, wouldn't it?
That would be a freaking nightmare. Absolutely. Most
people travel for vacation. Tuck travels to exercise.
Hey, that's a thing. Racecations are a thing. I'm queuing up. If I'm not at the wiffle ball national tournament this year, I'll be in Tahoe running a 50 miler. So we'll see how it goes.
I did put out those feelers, by the way, to the Leroy team. I said, Tuck might be able to swing this. So the feelers are out there. We will, of course, talk about that in the future. Half our listeners don't even know what that is.
Yeah, have their people contact my people, and we'll see if we can strike a deal, just like Kevin Owens did. We'll get to that in a little bit. Kyle, you had a little bit of homework over this past week, kind of an assignment, if you will.
I did. You remember the days where I used to give you homework?
Oh, yeah. And hey, I've got Christmas break, so let me let it rip. If you got anything else. You watched the 2001 Royal Rumble, correct?
I did. So before we get into AEW and everything, I recently asked Twitter to give me a Royal Rumble to watch. And my cousin, Tyler, gave me the assignment. Out of all the people on Twitter that follow me on wrestling, my wrestling account, it was Tyler. I found that to be very surprising that he would chime in there.
Well, he definitely wouldn't be my first pick. So I'm glad. I'm glad he contributed at least.
Yeah. So why don't I share you my review, my 2001 Royal Rumble review? How does that sound?
I'd love it.
Okay, so to set the table here, the Hardys, they started off this Royal Rumble, I believe. Jeff was number 1 and Matt was number 3. I forgot who number 2 was. And of course, like all Royal Rumbles, or I should say most, Drew Carey, a celebrity, you have to have that celebrity appearance, was in the Royal Rumble. And could you imagine this happening today, Tuck? Drew Carey eliminated the Hardy Boys from the 2001 Royal Rumble.
Both of them?
Yes. It was. Could you imagine the internet wrestling community if that happened?
No, okay, yeah, that's pre-Twitter and stuff like that. You can kind of get away with it and go hide from the critiques and reviews and until like the wrestling magazines or Wrestling Observer would come out. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that is something that might still happen, but I don't think it would be Drew Carey. I think if you're going to lean towards somebody,
Bad Bunny.
like Bad Bunny, athletic, Shaq. I could see Shaq bouncing a couple people, some of these bigger stars.
Like Mikey said, if you get eliminated by the celeb, then you get released. I mean,
Drew Carey would have won the Royal Rumble. Then they're trying to cut people at all costs over in Stamford. So shoot. Okay, Drew Carey eliminated to the Hardy Boys, and
yes, spoiler alert: Drew Carey did not win the Royal Rumble in 2001. If that was a prop bet that you were taking at home, Mikey Wilson, I'm talking to you. The beginning of the Rumble, though, yeah, he was. The beginning of the Rumble, though, was kind of just a bunch of ECW guys, and I didn't realize this. And obviously, I've seen clips from past wrestling, but in 2001, they laid their shit in. Like I'm telling you, those unprotected headshots are insane to watch 20 years later. Because that's just something you won't see with CTE and concussions. And they were taking trash cans and everything just right over the head and selling it. Like, it's just weird how times change.
Yeah, and that's not that long ago. Like, so think of how much wrestling we got when it was a lot more like visceral or aggressive like that. 20 years ago, long time, not that long of a time. And I'm sure it extended past that too.
Yeah, I believe they kind of laid their shit in like that until maybe the late 2010s or the early 2010s, I should say. Yeah. So, yeah, tough scene there. But that was a thing that really stood out to me in this Rumble. Also, Kane was like the star of the Rumble. I believe he lasted about an hour in this match. And it came down to Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course. You got to have Stone Cold there, who was attacked by Triple H, who was the world champion at the time. You also had The Rock and Kane, a part of the final three. So, do you know who won this Royal Rumble or no?
Nope, not.
So, between those three, who would be your pick?
Between Stone Cold, The Rock, and Kane?
Kane. Mm-hmm.
The Rock? I don't
know. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Stone Cold. Yeah.
Who was attacked before he entered the Royal Rumble. He ended up going on to win. Overall, and then Mikey's commenting, Mankind versus The Rock, I quit match, chair shots, kill me to watch today. Yeah, that was an insane match for sure. Hey, there's a homework assignment for you, Tuck.
I'm going to write that down.
There you go. And maybe I'm such like a contemporary wrestling fan, and technically you are too, even though you used to watch back in the day, but I enjoyed that 2001 Royal Rumble, but I prefer the style and presentation today more than then. I don't know if that makes much sense to you. Like, I like the theatrics that go into everything in the Royal Rumble now. Back then, it was kind of just like music hit, they ran down. And that was really about it. And there was
much more of a spectacle excitement now. Yeah,
exactly. So that's one thing I noticed. It was interesting just to go back 20 years. So shout out to Tyler, who recommended me watch an old Royal Rumble. You're welcome, Tyler, for reviewing it. It's a shame, Tuck, that Tyler couldn't even join us to start off this episode as I review the Rumble.
Well, I think it speaks more to his character. You think he's one of those guys backstage you think you can trust. Actions speak louder than words, right? He shot his shot and encouraged you to watch something, and then he doesn't show up when it's his time. It's more disappointing than upsetting, because you think you know somebody.
You think you know me?
Ooh. Yeah, it's still relevant today. Yep.
Yeah, it's very relevant today. You know what else is disappointing, Tuck? We only have Mikey Wilson right now in the comments section, where on this episode, the MVM wins a free T-shirt that is right over here. What's up with that?
We were in the Christmas spirit, coming up with ideas, coming off of a very hot episode. And, maybe it was the burnout from all the fans after Ian Garavaglia came from literally 99 spots away. He wouldn't even be in the Royal Rumble at spot 100, and then comes off the top rope, and Mikey's just getting in here clapping a t-shirt as well, and he didn't even know that. So that's great.
That just shows you a loyal fan right there. That's a loyal mark we have in Mikey Wilson.
He, that's finding the $5 bill in your pocket from the other week, a week or two ago. He showed up in good faith, and now he might be walking away with a t-shirt. Lot of show to go though, so he's got to fight off. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if a number of people pop in here trying to clap that T.
You know what? I feel like giving a free plug out of the way, since Mikey is the loyal fan listening. And see, this is what happens when you watch the show live and you interact. You might get a free shout out. So shout out to Mikey for joining the show right now. And make sure you check out Mikey's Morning Coffee. Usually every Sunday. He's going to be a little busy this weekend on the Overtime Sports Network. And speaking of OTSN Talk, we have to remind the listeners that we are proud members of OTSN. Check us out on the interwebs at otsportsnetwork.wixsite.com/OTSN. And if you wanted to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Tuck, how would you do so?
Dude, it's easy. @_OTSN.
Guy's a professional. He's even, doing the finger shit.
The Disney one.
Doing the Disney one.
Trace that shit, yeah.
Mikey also said, if you were taking my homework, my favorite triple threat is DX versus John Cena for the Survivor Series 2009. So that is definitely something you probably want to write down. And you brought up this news earlier, Tuck, when we were doing our intro. We might as well get into this right now. And it is Kevin Owens is in the news. And for once, it has to do with WWE and being positive news. We have significant news coming out on his contract. Kevin Owens is officially re-signing with the WWE on a multi-year deal. Tuck, a lot of speculation going into this contract situation when we saw that Kevin Owens' contract was rumored to be done in early January. He is re-signing with the WWE. How do you feel about this? Are you surprised to see it? Let me know your thoughts.
I wasn't shocked or stunned because I feel like Kevin Owens is a WWE guy. I think he values the brand of the program, and it could be a push at the right time ahead of a contract too. WWE wants to keep KO. Let's push him a little bit. But even with the news of him re-signing, WWE's got a good wrestler under contract for a number of years. A number of people are still just going to be pissed. Like, people are going to get mad, chasing money. Like, what if the dude just likes wrestling for the WWE and providing for his family? Cool. It's his choice. He has and I think it speaks to WWE still. He has all these options and he still wants to go back. Cool.
There's a key word you said there, Tuck. Family. And KO spoke out on re-signing today. He said, quote, "The decision was pretty easy because it really was the best thing for my family. WWE has been my home for 7 years now, so I have a sense of belonging." And that's kind of the thing that it kind of aggravates me a little bit when you go to comments on Twitter and you look at all these tweets back to him re-signing with the WWE, kind of ripping him in a way like, have fun on the mid-card. Can't believe you would do that. Like you said, and I tweeted this out too, maybe he just likes being where he's at. Not every person has this story that WWE is a shit place to work, because obviously if it was, Tuck, I don't think Kevin Owens would have signed this new deal, right?
No, I feel like he's pretty authentic, and if it didn't feel like a good fit, I think he would go. So cool. Congrats, Kevin Owens.
Do you think this is a sign of things to come, as if maybe they trust Kevin Owens and that he might stay in the main event scene?
I hope so, because I mean, he's surely a welcome sight where he's at right now. So I'd be torn. I don't know if I want Big E to lose it yet. I don't know, but if
my
Kevin
thoughts
Owens
on
is
that.
around, it's going to be a good match. What are your thoughts on that? Retell the listeners.
I want Big E to lose the title. I think he would be better on the chase. I don't hate Big E. I like Big E. I mean, like we've talked about in the past, he was number one on my Spotify rap, but man, it's not doing it for me. And Kevin Owens, let's take a peek over here. You can't really see the autograph, but Kevin Owens is a big fan of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast. We got to meet him a couple of years ago on Survivor Series weekend. And obviously we only got to interact with him for maybe 30 seconds, Tuck, but it seems like he is a genuine human being. I'm very excited for him to re-sign with the WWE, and let's just hope big things to come for KO, right?
Yeah, and hey, if I'm at a free signing, right? Like I know these people aren't paying a dime, and I'm still signing every picture they want, their belts, their toys, their figures. Like, yeah, 30 seconds, not a long time in the span of a day, but it felt good in front of him. And it speaks to his character. So congrats to him. Good luck.
Let's give him a round of applause. You know,
yeah.
we don't have the sound thing that you have, but we're just going to clap it up here for our boy Kevin Owens. So congrats to him on re-signing with the WWE on a multi-year deal. Hoping for the best for him, but I feel like I'm listening to an episode of a Wheelhouse Baseball podcast. RIP.
I might have to pull it back. I don't know. I gotta send a chat. I don't know.
When are we just gonna officially make the announcement that Wheelhouse is dead?
Never. I'm not paying for the SoundCloud. I'm not paying for the SoundCloud right now, so you can only catch like the last 2 episodes and not the whole library. Heck, you know, $17-18 a month for just to like have it. Not great, but
whatever. I don't think people realize that this stuff ain't free. You know, like we got to put money into. I'm putting $25 a month. You're putting money into our show. Like it's a mutual thing.
It's not, and again, not like it's not, we're not like going homeless because of it. But you know, buy a couple T-shirts. You know, you could support the brand. You know,
we're also not gonna beg for money, and we're not big enough to set up a Patreon account. We're not gonna be those people. We know these are hard times, as Dusty Rhodes would say. Hard times, baby, hard times. So hold on to your money. You're pretty good at that. You're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Dusty would be proud, baby. There it is. You got to get the baby.
Come on, baby.
Not the baby, but the baby.
No, that's a very different vibe. Very.
It is. And when Mikey Wilson delivers the baby, completely different level.
You're not ready for it. Thank God he's only in the comment section, but it's gonna get queued up in all caps here in a second. I would bet my house on it. So
it is, because Adam Cole will be mentioned on this show. I guarantee you that. So speaking of Adam Cole, speaking of AEW, I say we get into AEW. Winter is coming. Tuck, did you watch this show live last night?
Live-ish, so a little bit of an asterisk. I started about 15 minutes after, but if you start the show live on Hulu, you can kick back to the beginning. So I was 15 minutes late, and I started at the gym and the first match, Bryan Danielson, Adam Page. I'm like, great, like probably just jog through this one, walk it out a little bit. I was not prepared. I was not ready. Now I wasn't getting off the damn treadmill in the middle of the match. So I got about an hour's worth of cardio in yesterday when I was looking for about 20-25 minutes. So yep.
That's kind of the reaction I had when I saw that the show was kicking off with the AEW World Championship. I mean, I was completely shocked. And I even tweeted this out. I had dishes out there that needed to be put away, but I was in a similar situation as you. My ass wasn't moving. Like, there's a world title match on TV.
Yeah.
You just
and
don't
it's
get
an
out
AEW title match. So like you think something's going to like, you don't think you're going to get a screwy finish 8 minutes in. WWE has us kind of conditioned for that big match, probably no finish. We got a finish here.
We did. So let's just get into the match itself before we talk about the finish here, Tuck. Bryan Danielson, I want to commend him for his work. His heel wrestling style, I think, is simply fantastic. What he is doing right now is way better than any of the babyface stuff that I saw in WWE, because he can go from this slow, methodical pace, you know, going limb by limb in a technical submission style, to a quick striking approach, high energy. It is insane, the motor, especially at the age of 40, that Bryan Danielson has, Tuck.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the guy, he looked tired in WWE. I thought you could see it more on his face, especially towards the later stages of his WWE run, where he looked a little bit tired. There were more miles on the tires, and he comes to AEW and he looks fresh, and he has like kind of a glow about him. Maybe it's the new hair. I don't know. But like you mentioned, we didn't get one style of match just for an hour. There were phases, there were arcs to it. I don't know how the hell they remember all the spots. I know it's in segments, and we can kind of ad lib on our way from here to there. But an hour is a long time for anything. An hour is a lot.
I mean, you would know. You do marathons now, and you run for more than an hour. And like Mikey said, he really wasn't breathing hard during any of this match. They even mentioned that on commentary, which they definitely did. And you point out the fact that he kind of looks sluggish, in WWE towards the end of that run. I totally agree with you. I think just sometimes a change of scenery, and sometimes you see it in sports. Some guy gets traded, some guy gets released, and he gets picked up by this new team, and he has like a career renaissance in a new city. That's kind of like what this is with Bryan Danielson hopping over to AEW. He can just wrestle, and that's what we're getting with him right now.
And say some cuss words during live TV every once in a while.
Yeah, he said it at All Out too after they went off air, and we were like, "Whoa, that's weird."
Wow, that's a little.
He's a
different.
father.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's got kids.
Yeah, who would have thought he could say "fuck"? We all can say it, but hearing him say it was weird. So this match obviously went on for a long time. We had multiple oh my god spots, a lot of near falls. And I'll tell you what, Zach, I always cringe when anyone takes an apron bump. And when Hangman did that leading into one of the commercial breaks, I was cringing very hard.
No, yeah. That, again, they mentioned it. They kind of over-mentioned the apron, hardest part of the ring. But, like, there is no give. It doesn't bounce. And that's some of the stuff, as I've come back into wrestling, I'm more impressed now with the things that they do. I almost took it for granted as a younger fan. So there were a number of times where I'm like, oh wow. And the motor on both of them from start to finish. Now I started getting fatigued a little bit because as Taz was constantly hit, we're 30 minutes in, 40. It got to a spot mentally around minute 45 where I'm like, nothing's going to matter for the next 13 minutes, and it did. It was meaningful. We had close spots and near falls, but it did get to a spot for me where I'm like, this thing is going an hour.
Yeah. I kind of had the same vibe too, because they did keep reiterating the time. And then mentally, when I heard the numbers keep increasing, I'm like, we're going to get a draw, aren't we? Like they are really selling this as if it is going to go the distance. But I talked about that apron spot going into break. Speaking of break, did the commercial breaks kind of ruin any of the enjoyment of the match for you, or did you feel like they were spaced out pretty well?
I felt like there was one or two too many. And I always, I know they've done a pin during picture-in-picture before, but that, like, I don't give it credence when they go to picture-in-picture, that it's just fluffy. Right. Like picture-in-picture doesn't keep me. I know they want you to stay right here for picture-in-picture. Nah, it still sucks. And there were spots that were not picture-in-picture too. So they were flooding this hour. But the time we did get without, pretty good. Quality. And good evening, Josh. Long time no see. My guy.
Is Josh the one that keeps popping in under our shows weekly?
Hey, and I told him about the T-shirt too, and I told him you got to bring it. You can't just drop one line from The Rock from his music video and act like you're going to get on top. It's about drive, it's about power. I respect it, but we're going to need a little bit more. And Mikey's hot, and as he comments, Ian definitely is not having a Hangman type defense today. No. Fraudavalia is very inactive.
It's lurking. Fraudavalia is definitely lurking. He's having more of a Santino Marella type title defense right now, which is not
you
great.
hate to see it. Well, and you got Vogus is apparently checking at Spider-Man. Erica is very suspended, apparently. So suspended she can't even tune in. Didn't see that coming. I thought, so our people are going to have to talk to her people, and
Yeah, trust me, our people definitely will be talking to her people, because she's on our shit list right now. Mm-hmm. What did you call her last week? What was the word? Or 2 weeks ago? Scoundrel. I don't. It was something funny. I forgot what it was.
I don't know.
I clipped it because I caught you red-handed when you were trying to, schmooze her over on Twitter.
Oh yeah, probably a coward. Something.
I mean, that wouldn't be a lie. I mean, I would probably agree with you there. My mom knows we are live right now, and she is texting me. Oh, okay. It's just confirmation of something. All right, we're good. She's not trying to talk to me.
Has been confirmed. Good. Whatever that was.
So,
yep.
So let's rush to the end of this match here. 55 minutes into the match, Danielson started to do his vintage stomping into the face of the opponent of Hangman until Hangman reversed that and doing dead eye, which I thought right there and then we were going to get that finish right before the hour mark with that dead eye. And when Bryan Danielson kicked out, I was very, very surprised. Did they almost get you with that dead eye?
Yes, that one, and then he kicked out of a buckshot too.
Yeah.
Or like, holy cow! That almost started cementing like the fact that we're gonna go time limit here. But then even at the last moments of it, like that's the hard part about it. Like, do I feel like it was a great match? Is it match of the year? It was an awesome match, but then you're like, time limit draw, shoot. But the whole time they did string you along and pull you. Oh, this is it. That's it too. Yeah. So it's always tough. A finish is a fit. Like that was a finish. It was just a time limit draw, which feels like you have to have that conversation with yourself. Did I waste an hour of my life? And for that one, I say no.
Fair enough. Quinn finally checking in after almost 30 minutes. Good to see you, Quinn. He called us chumps. I first thought it said champs. Don't know why we are chumps. You're the biggest chump out there, Quinn. Take that.
Right. Yeah.
You jabroni. So Hangman tried for that buckshot lariat on Danielson, but he caught him and applied that lapel lock. Page ended up fighting out of it. Hit the buckshot, but it was too late, Tuck. Time expired. So now that we know that result of the draw, how do you feel about this booking decision?
I think they win. I think AEW did a good job. Both competitors looked great. And then both competitors looked strong and nobody suffered a defeat and it wasn't a cheesy non-finish. So I was satisfied with it, and it does leave the door open for another type of stipulation, right? Falls count anywhere, no time limit, something like that.
Everything AEW does, they do for a reason. Quinn's not wrong there. Josh said, Mr. Tucker made us do schoolwork for the last time, having the class until next semester. Hey, you're going to have to enjoy that winter break there, Josh. Enjoy it, because once you get back, you got to learn some more.
Bro, he's mad because he went to school and did school stuff. That he's upset that he went to school and his teacher tried to educate him. That's where his frustration is. I will not apologize for educating the youth because we made storyboards today and we're talking about little stories and these kids stink. We just mix in a period one time. Josh probably wasn't terrible, but
you know what sucked? I had to go to work today and I actually worked. It was wild.
No. Yeah.
That's what Mikey literally just commented. I hate going to work and doing work stuff. Yeah, that's accurate. Oh, Quinn with the prediction. Triple threat at Revolution. Omega, Danielson, and Page. Omega's gone for a while, man. Ain't he?
Well, how long is the while? Injury stuff, right?
You're supposed to wheel out the TV card. He said that's an unwritten rule. That's a fair point. That's how it was back in the day.
We have a digital touchscreen 65-inch flat screen TV at the front of the room. TV cards aren't a thing. All right, bud. But to my credit, whatever we were going to watch was probably blocked. So I don't know.
It was actually the 2001 Royal Rumble. That's what you guys were going to watch. Or you could have watched Winter is Coming. It's themed.
I had it queued up, but blame the man.
Quinn's saying Omega's out until February. I saw longer. Maybe he's seeing different things, but then again, he is the one that broke the Johnny Gargano news for us, so I guess we can trust him, right?
Yeah, he is a credible source.
All right, now ask me what I thought of it. Do it.
What did Kyle at Too Sweet Kyle? Too Sweet.
So
did you watch Winter is Coming yesterday from All Elite Wrestling?
I did. Yeah, I
They
did.
started the show off with a big match, world title championship match. Hangman Adam Page, kind of the cowboy guy. He had a match against Bryan Danielson. You might remember him as Daniel Bryan. Did you watch that match?
I did. And I think, it's very fitting we have a story time with Mr. OTM. How about that?
Let's go.
Let's get into this finish because I got a lot to say. I got a lot of thoughts. I tweeted out.
Thank God we have a podcast and a live show for this.
Who would have thought?
Awesome. This is great.
What a concept. What a concept. So I wouldn't say the decision I hate. There's more WWE type finishes that I hate. Hate's a strong word. I do understand the logistics behind the decision. That doesn't mean I have to like it. Correct. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I did not like the decision to have a draw between Danielson and Page. For me, I think we just recently had that draw with Danielson and Omega. So using that same type of finish again, just a couple weeks later, I don't need to see it that often. There are other ways. And you brought this up. You said it is a good way to keep the story moving, to prolong the storyline, which you're right. It definitely is a way to do that, but there are other ways to go about doing that because inevitably this was going to happen. We were going to get another Hangman Page versus Danielson match, which we want and we deserve. But these guys went to war. This was a fantastic wrestling match. I will say it is a top 5 match of the year candidate. But I think when you have that type of match, we deserve a winner. This is not soccer. No wonder why Quinn liked it because he likes soccer. There is no draws in wrestling. I'm going full in right now. I am pissed off. I did not like that finish, Tuck.
Okay. The man has spoke his piece. I think there's a few others. Hey, Donna. I think there's a few others that would probably agree with you in that regard.
With all that being said, Tuck, this was an incredible professional wrestling match. I am not taking away anything from what happened in that ring. The story that they told made sense. I'm going to keep reiterating that. I get it. I do. I just don't like it. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think so. Well, that was a conversation I had with myself that I didn't know if I liked it or not. I ended up with a thumbs up. But getting a thumbs up because you're not WWE, that doesn't mean it was great, So that's just where I'm at. But I did enjoy it. My legs are sore today.
Would you say top 5 match of the year?
I think it's safe, but it's 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. I've got to look at your list. You do a much better job January to December, kind of like cataloging matches.
I've deleted some off of those too because I'm like, it doesn't stack up against the rest.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to take a peek at your list and do some research. Thank God the OTMs are on New Year's Eve. I think this year maybe even we do nominees, right? So like match of the year. Here's our nominees. We could even have the fans vote on it.
Yeah.
Or wrestler of the year. We can have we could do a Google form even. We had a lot of options. Put it in the chat. What are you thinking? I mean, we might have some guest MCs and hosts and things like that. It's gonna be good. Yeah. Mikey Wilson's got a comment. Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, top matches have beginnings, middles, and finishes. This did have a finish. It's just not the finish that I preferred. And I hate when WWE does the DQ finishes. I'm not saying that's what they should have done here. How about this, Tuck? I've seen this spot before with Daniel Bryan in the past. Maybe a superplex off the top rope where both men are covering each other. It's inconclusive. They're both down for the 3 count. And that's the way the match ends. Just a thought.
Well, something like that. Would you have felt better if it was a 30-minute time limit draw? Like, because I'm thinking of it from like a we just spent half the show for a draw. Nobody was finished the evening above, on top of the other. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. But it
Well,
was a good match.
Another reason they probably did the draw too, Tuck, is because ever since Danielson made the jump over to AEW, he's been unstoppable. He's been unbeatable. He has that undefeated record. So I guess in a way, it doesn't make Hangman look weak. I definitely won't say that. It just comes down to preference on how you want the match to end. And Quinn said 3 months later, all you jamokes are going to be loving it. I'm not denying the fact that I'm going to, enjoy the end outcome of this storyline. Because trust me, this is the beginning of these two. It's just, for me, it ain't my cup of tea, bro.
Well, and right now we're at the front of a long play, right? So we're anticipating a long play and a long draw of a story. Right now we can be unsatisfied, and
Yeah, and Mikey said I prefer draw to a wonky finish, which I would agree. I would agree with that. We got another spam comment, so let me block them really quick. Tuck, we always get that.
Don't even know what that means. All right.
Quinn said Hangman is learning to be champion. I think that's the slow burning storyline. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. It's kind of settling in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Trust me, Quinn, we're not denying that it doesn't. It's just for me, not for me. But we move on. I digress. So let's move on.
Not for me.
After that, we got a backstage segment with the Super Click, and Adam Cole, baby, referenced a present for next week, Tuck. What could Adam Cole be bringing to Dynamite?
He is going to give us everyone's pointing at it. There he is, Mikey with the baby in the comments section. I don't know. Is it too in front of you to say Kyle O'Reilly? Like, is it too like popping you over the head? I don't know what else
they were doing that with Punk too. They were throwing it in your face,
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't need to be that deep secret. Just tell them what's coming.
Well, and that's how you build anticipation as well. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's Kyle O'Reilly, definitely. And he even tweeted eye emojis with the GIF. What's in the box? So
yeah,
it only makes sense. Bring Undisputed over to AEW. He's a guy that I don't think, can get lost in the shuffle because his majority of his career, he's shined in groups. So I think just throwing him in a group with Adam Cole in AEW, he'll probably succeed, right?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty crowded though. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I'm excited though. Next week's show should be pretty good. They got a lot of things that they're building up for. So after that, Wardlow squashed Matt Sydal. This match was really just to tease the inevitable here, Tuck. We keep talking about it, the Wardlow face turn, which is going to be happening soon, right? Like, how long can they prolong this?
Well, and then with what happened in the main event of the evening as well, it's another thing to point. How long are they going to draw it out? I can't wait for it though. I'm ready for Wardlow to get the rocket strapped to his back and just sent. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I like the comparisons too. They're like Wardlow's eventually going to get the Batista treatment. You know how he turned on Evolution. That's kind of like what Wardlow is going to be doing here with the Pinnacle. Are they even still calling themselves the Pinnacle?
I feel like I haven't heard the term in weeks, but maybe I don't know.
Maybe we don't know. So there's two more things here from AEW. Winter is coming. Hikaru Shida defeated Serena Deeb in their trilogy, which I have enjoyed so far. The crowd was pretty tame during this match, Tuck, and rightfully so after the marathon of the match that we had to kick off and all the things that are going on in AEW. But from start to finish, just like the first two matches, I really enjoyed this. What about you?
I never give Serena Deeb the credit that she deserves for just being a very solid professional wrestler. She doesn't have that like it factor to me that someone like Britt Baker does, that star power. But she's very capable of making good matches. And that's something that I always forget. And I don't think Shida is as bad as Ryan Bogus wants us to believe as well.
You got to lump Ian into that too. Ian was shit talking her.
Yeah. Well, no comment in that regard. I don't He's the champ, so we got to acknowledge him.
Well, there ain't no way he's fucking retaining.
No, we'll see.
We're 40 minutes in.
He didn't even send me his address. I might as well queue up 2 decals for Mikey. So I don't know.
You know what's crazy? We are 40 minutes in. It really hasn't felt like it more than the other shows. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a good time.
I'm
just having a good time. The chemistry, though, between these two, I think is very awesome. It's some of the best women's matches we've seen in AEW. And kind of going off what you're saying, I don't think this is an overreaction. I think Serena Deeb is the most underrated female talent in AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, just consistent and so versatile in the ring.
Like, she gives me the vibes that I think Christian got for a while. Like, Christian wasn't the superstar, oh my God, top guy forever. But there's a lot of matches that Christian has been in that are meaningful, that are valuable, that are good. 100%. And it's not like I'm not dying for Serena Deeb to get the title. I don't even know. Like, I don't think she would be great. I don't need her to have it. She's just good at wrestling. And like you said, she the key word is underrated. So I'm glad that we got 3 good matches out of her. And I kind of wish she would have won after last night too. I don't know.
I was going to say that. And these are the kind of talents you need if you're building up a division from the bottom, because that's what they're doing here in AEW. Everything is being built from the start, and it's going to take years to, establish a very great division. It's different with the men's because they just recruited all these top free agents. So that's easy to build. But if you really look from the start of AEW, there really wasn't much in that women's division.
No. I mean, Britt Baker's been around since day one, but they had a lot of trouble getting that division off of the ground. I don't know how to answer that.
Quinn asked, what do you think Deeb's favorite sandwich is? I don't know, Quinn, but you are going to tell us, aren't you?
He might have some. I hope it's a dad joke. Yeah.
My goal is to not react facially to the punchline. So we'll see how I do.
Good luck with that. I also think like Deeb's importance, like she's a better version of Natalia. Like Natalia is a like a backbone of the women's division, but you don't really take her seriously. But Serena Deeb, credible threat, veteran talent, good match, good worker. Not nearly as annoying or agonizing as Natalia is to me, but I think I like Natalia more than a lot of people do, I guess. I think she's fair. She doesn't get the Nia Jax or Tamina treatment and when I talk about her. So I think Deeb is solid and the women's division is firm. I just think they're at that like green spot now where the men's division are pulling really good wrestlers. AEW has the NXT 2.0 vibe in the women's division where they have to take some of the, aside from Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, some of the other top ones, but we do have 2 distinct factions now. AEW is a free agent destination where they're taking established talent and putting them in, where WWE is taking a new approach. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think we're going to get a sense of NXT 2.0 for like 2 or 3 more years, realistically, but it is nice because we have 2 different vibes now instead of everyone vying for the same type of wrestler. Yeah.
And there's something for everyone out there, like different kinds of fans. Oh, what, we got the punchline? No. Oh, I thought
we got a roast line.
Yeah. I'm just asking on this question. I was panicking looking for if I want to give a serious, she's a ham and cheese kind of gal.
Ham and Deeb. No, there's no joke. Okay, all right.
Oh, we were really thinking. That's my answer, Quinn. Ham and cheese.
ham Deeb's. That's not it. That's
Deeb nuts. All right, that's where you're going for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He just wanted to know our thoughts. Maybe Quinn's hungry. Did you have a sandwich? And if so, well, speaking of sandwiches, talk. What's your go-to sandwich spot?
Sandwich spot. When you come out to Nevada, I'm going to take you to a place called Porta Subs. Bread is phenomenal. Their special thing is mayo mustard, which is literally what it is, mayo and mustard. But it's good. They mix it well. I don't know. But Port of Subs is undefeated out here. Your sandwich spot of choice in the region, Northwest Indiana, what would it be? Deep dish.
Mikey made me laugh. Deep dish. That was pretty good. Mine's Potbelly. I'm a big Potbelly guy. I just like that, toasted.
The Wreck.
Sub.
Give me the Wreck. Love it.
Wreck's good. I'm an Italian guy. Last name's Gagliardi. I got to.
Well, I was about to say it makes you're just just staying true. You're not going to be that guy.
Deeb's nuts. Yeah, the Serena and Kingston faction. Deeb's nuts. There you go.
That's a brand. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping.
Let's get the OTM t-shirts going. Deeb's nuts.
Yeah, I'm in.
I know Quinn would buy one, but we got one more match here to talk about. From Winter is Coming. Dante Martin and MJF. They main evented this show for the Diamond Ring. This match accomplished exactly what I think they were intending, and that's to continue putting over Dante Martin, and MJF continues to roll as a top heel. Overall, the match was solid. Nothing too spectacular other than Martin's few spots. What was your overall take on the main event?
I think it served its purpose, but I only had it in my head that MJF was going to win. So a match like that being less of a toss-up roots my interest far less than a match like Danielson and Hangman, because either of those guys could win and it would make sense and you get it. I don't think it made a lot of sense for Martin to have the ring. Therefore, going into the match on the bell, it was like, how is MJF going to win this match? What is it going to look like? And mission accomplished, because Dante Martin had some spots too. Cool. All right, here we go again. I do like the three-peat shirts for MJF. Did you see those?
No. I did. Maybe I'll
Bulls era three-peat vibes. It's got it's got three-peat on the bottom. It's got three of the AEW ring. It's very nice. So cool vibes there. Might have to cop it.
I might be able to pull it up on the screen and show everybody, because I just learned that capability that I can share my screens that I have.
Let's go.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm looking at that shirt right now. You ain't kidding, man.
Very solid. I know. Because I think either of us don't have we don't have enough wrestling shirts. So
hold up. I'm gonna pull up the shirt right now for those watching live. If you haven't seen it, can you see it right now?
Look at that. Isn't that solid?
Dude, that's a great shirt. And obviously I don't know if I'd ever buy MJF gear, because I'm just gonna, play the kayfabe and not support a heel.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a quality shirt right there. Okay, so let's talk about what happened after the match too, because that seems to be taking more of the headlines. The lights went out after the match because FTR would come out to celebrate with MJF, and it would be Sting and Darby Allin who came in for the save, and also CM Punk would close out the show for the save, setting up a massive 6-man tag match for Dynamite next week. We got MJF and FTR taking on Darby Allin, Sting, and CM Punk. For a 6-man tag, Tuck, it doesn't get much better than that.
Well, and this is a crazy idea that AEW is going with. They're announcing a match that'll happen a week ahead of time, hoping that you'll be interested in tuning back in, and not just coming up with a match card over Twitter on like the day of Raw.
Or changing
Genius. Well, and they even do that on pay-per-views too. They're setting up matches and stringing them along to the next Dynamite, and there's always this catching a line and trying to reel them back in, where WWE is like, here's our shit, you can kind of watch it if you feel like it, just let me know, we're here, whatever. And I thought with AEW doing well that WWE was just going to start sending it, and I don't super feel that.
They're staying in their lane. But if you look at the ratings, it's not like AEW's competing with them. AEW put on a great show last night, but they only popped a 950,000 rating. Sure, you're winning the demo, but from the grand scheme of things, are they a competition to WWE, Tuck?
Not at this, not a legitimate threat, but they're a good option for the fan, but they're not, like, when it comes to stock and things like that, that's not the same.
Also, Dante is back with Leo Rush. They talked about it on the internet. Okay, good to know. I did not know that. This is a good question, though, Tuck, because I tweeted about this as well. How do you guys feel about that House of Black vignette? That was unique. It was captivating, and I loved it. What about you?
As soon as it was over, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, that wasn't NXT 2.0. I'll tell you that. And it's just
It wasn't
good
jacket time.
God, you didn't have to. You didn't have to do that. But you're not sorry. I know you know. Yeah, I thought it was good, and they're building up an aura and a mystique, and they're not like over cheesing this gimmick that could be cheesed. Frankly, like you could go way over the top with it, but they're not, and I like that. It's mysterious, it's spooky, but not stupid.
Yeah, and Black had another guy in his promo video. A lot of people are speculating that it's Brody King. I don't know anything about Brody King, but we also know that Malachi referenced King in this vignette. So all signs kind of point to that, don't they? I don't know if you know anything about Brody King, do you?
I'm Googling him right now. Solid beard. Mikey Wilson, a Jace. Nate Blavelt is his actual name. He is currently signed to Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Well, not Ring of Honor anymore.
He was part of the Villain Enterprises faction with Marty Scurll, PCO, and Flip Gordon. So 34-year-old, 6'5", 285 pounds, big boy, looks like he can move a little bit. And he does look like he's got a GCW match against he's got a GCW match coming up. Him and PCO will be challenging the Briscoe brothers. So
yeah, that was what I was actually going to bring up, Quinn, is I thought they were tag champs somewhere right now. They are PWG tag champs. So there is a connection there, and there are rumors that Brody King is signing to AEW. But all in all, Winter is Coming was a very good show from top to bottom. Once again, really excited for what's to come in the future in AEW. Man, they keep putting on these shows, and just I want more, you know.
Yeah, well, I look forward. Some of the stuff, like I couldn't miss Winter is Coming. Like I had to see it. That was not a result I wanted to see on Twitter. When was the last time I said that about Raw? Like I watched SmackDown. I got to see what the Bloodline's up to. I got to check into the family, you know. But Raw, it's like if I have time, you know, things like that. I don't know what that means.
Fuck you, Mikey Wilson. It's Feed Me More with Ryback. I hate Ryback so much.
Got it. All right, that was okay.
So,
we were talking about sandwiches, so I'm like, I don't know how that played into it, but
yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. But speaking of SmackDown talk, myself, Ian Vogus will be headed to Friday Night SmackDown tomorrow night in Chicago. Unfortunately, Mikey Wilson couldn't go anymore. He is headed to Texas, Tuck, to check out some of the houses. So best of luck to our guy Mikey, right?
Absolutely. Safe travels. I hope it all works out. Being through that a few months ago, I do not envy you. Have fun though. You'll be tagging Mista. Mista's flying home from Texas tomorrow. So kind of tagging in on the way out. She had a new training for her new work gig. So life is good.
Oh, I didn't know she got a new work gig. That's cool.
Yeah.
Better money?
More money, more vacation time, quarterly bonuses. The stupid part about it was she told her former job that she, was contemplating, had a new job opportunity, and then they threw a bag at her. Like where was
Kevin
that
Owens
money?
bag?
It was stupid, and it became very hard for her to turn down because it was like, oh, now you value me when I want to leave. And so make it a different move. We'll see how it works out. We're young. I think we're still in that part where we can make a move or two and see how it's going. But we're busy out here. I've got the book in motion, the kids' book, and
can't wait for that.
It's like the illustrator at first was kind of on the fence, and now he's like in. We've changed some big things. He's been very helpful. A lot of it's done. So I'm excited. I don't think it's going to be a get rich quick scheme, but another thing to help motivate people and it should be fun.
I got to proofread it. I did enjoy it, even though I'm not the target audience. But
I have to send you the new one because we've done some revisions. We've cut out about 500 words. We changed the storyline completely.
Vince! What are you doing, Vince?
For the better. The one that you read, the illustrator was like, yeah, like this, I can probably draw this, and then we started going back and forth and chatting about it, and the moves and the changes we've made, I think, are for the better. So it's good. Happy you guys are all doing so well. You know what, Quinn, we're hoping that you're doing well too. And Josh is asking for pictures. I don't have pictures of the book that's not illustrated yet. I actually have to write like our contractual agreement, and I have no idea what I'm doing for that. So
yeah,
we'll
I won't be able to help you with that.
He sent me the template and things like, I don't know what any of it means. I'm probably gonna get
that would be me.
I'm gonna get got. I don't know.
I was just gonna say, like our truth would say, don't get got.
I feel very, I don't know, because it was supposed to be like commission. I was going to pay him up front, and now he wants to split royalties because he thinks it's a good book. The shitty book, I had to pay him up front, but now I don't know. But Josh, no, there are no pictures quite yet. But I do. I would like to show you some of the research. Did you know John Cena is a children's book author?
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a couple of them, and they're entertaining. I think mine's better, though. We'll have to see. He's probably going to make a lot more money off of his, though. But
we'll just have him on. We'll talk about children's book together. I'm sure he's very easy to get.
Talking shop, couple authors, in the field, talking shop about our different books. Maybe throw in some wrestling references. I'm sure he's got plenty of time for that, for sure.
It's a possibility. Maybe if he's on SmackDown in Chicago tomorrow, I'll get him for you because I got some connections.
I thought I read on a dirt sheet that was going to happen, but the other thing I wanted to point out as we're on our way out here is that like I texted you, that TikTok you made of the OTME promo with your cheesy announcer voice had me rolling. TikTok is that at Pot on the Mark as well, or what's the
simple, man? Just like our Twitter at Pot on the Mark. Everybody's on TikTok now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, life is good.
I thought you saw something like creeping on you in the corner there.
No, I got a notification from my phone on my computer, so I'm like, sorry, I was looking at the bat signal, I guess. Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for tomorrow because we didn't see the Tribal Chief last week, but he is returning, the head of the table in Chicago, the best wrestling city in the world. I'm never going to change my opinion on that. I love Chicago crowds. Tuck, I know I just went to a show, and you just kind of did too, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how much time goes in between wrestling shows. There's always a different level of excitement for each one.
A little bit of buzz, and I mean that's still why, like, we have no idea what the Royal Rumble is going to look like, but the opportunity to be at the Royal Rumble and wait for the pops live, it's just something about it. And every time you buy a ticket to a wrestling show, you're buying a lottery ticket because you could be seeing one of the biggest matches, big surprise. And a lot of our conversation. Oh yeah, when I remember when we went to, we talk about it a lot. The shows we went to, the things you see and watch. So it is like you might see a stinker of a show. You might see an awesome show. You might be very happy. I think the last SmackDown you went to, you weren't thrilled about. Is that the?
I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was a Raw. It was a Raw.
Oh yeah.
It was Raw earlier this year. Yeah, it was Raw at the Allstate. I wasn't huge on it, so hopefully it might be said we got Reigns and Lesnar. So
I remember watching that.
Oh, that
Raw,
is true.
You guys were there, yeah.
Remember that, Tuck? Last time we went to SmackDown, we got bumped to better seats.
Depending on, that's always my suggestion now. Depending on where you're at, like if you want to send it for lower level seats and guarantee your spot, cool. If not, go upper deck, hard camera side, because that's the least seen side of the venue. And if they want to pack and slam you, they're going to upgrade your ticket instead of sliding you over. They want to get that lower bowl filled. That we happened into that by accident. I was stunned, but those seats were great. You were not like sitting like inside of overweight people, like the upper deck seats. Where are you guys
That will
sitting
happen.
tomorrow? Are you guys upper deck?
We're in the lower level. We are literally
Okay.
so like say I'm right here. The stage is right in front of me. Lower level, front view of the entrance. That's how it is.
Oh, solid. Yeah.
Yeah. I did love that Hook TikTok that you sent me. I love Hook. Send Hook. What a fucking debut that was on Rampage. Did you watch Rampage?
Yes. I watched that. I felt like that was all I was going to get out of it from that show. And he can do it. And, Taz has been on record saying every decision has been his gear, his hair, his song. I love that song.
Action
Gives him an
Bronson.
edge.
Action Bronson.
Yep. So I'm intrigued. That dude's put together. I'm excited to see him grow. Quinny Gerard, the last WWE show he went to, Jinder Mahal won the WWE title. Wow, that's well.
So if we can blame anyone, we're blaming Quinn, right?
Yep, he might just give you the kiss of death. I don't know. Are there any matches rumored or anything like that? Do we?
I think Xia Li might be in action because Xia Li made her SmackDown debut. Maybe Naomi will be with her in some facet, but I would assume that they are going to prolong this Heyman dynamic with the Lesnar and Reigns situation. Which, dude, even the shit that Brock's doing, like the comedy with Sami Zayn, this is my favorite Brock Lesnar we've ever seen.
It's good. It's good. The shit with Sami Zayn was 10, like 10 out of 10.
So
it
good.
was because his like arrogance, his air about him not knowing who the hell Sami Zayn was, and like treat him like a good old boy.
We could be hunting buddies.
It was great. It was great. Yeah, Sami Zayn, right? Sam,
you should fight Roman Reigns tonight.
And you can see it now. Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's so cool to see him like be able to show his personality. So I'm very excited for SmackDown. I'm also very excited for what we are about to do, Tuck, because we promised our listeners that if you were to come in, if you were to win the most valuable mark, that you would win a free OTM t-shirt. Tuck, I think we're in agreement here, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. Another good match. Not nearly the battle royal we had last week, but there's room for a good triple threat or a singles match in the comment section from week to week as well. And I think it's time to award the most valuable mark, not only one of these decals, but one of those t-shirts you're showing off too. And they can get it in black, right? Black, gray.
They've got gray, which is back there, the lighter gray, white. We got options.
We
might even have to make an MVM t-shirt and then like give the ultimate MVM of the year a t-shirt. It's an idea.
Big, like even if it's like a pocket shirt with the little logo like right here, or I don't know. We got options, but maybe every couple months, quarterly, maybe. I don't know. We can chat about that, but it is the Christmas season, so we're in a giving mood, and I'm in agreement with your take. I think it is the
season. It is the season of giving, like you said. And speaking of the season of giving, this man gave up his SmackDown ticket to a younger gentleman and didn't even ask for any money. He came in at the beginning of this episode and was interacting with us, gave us some quality takes. A valiant effort from Quinny Gerard once again, and new most valuable mark of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast, Mikey Wilson. It was a fun time. Mikey was with us the whole entire time, and he's just throwing out all these acronyms now. Can you translate?
MVM, most valuable mark, $1 million champion, Mikey Wilson.
Oh, you got that quicker than I did because I didn't figure out. He's the $1 million champion, but I still got a better record. I'm just going to keep throwing that out there. So that's
hey, whatever war, however you fall asleep at night. Hey guys, buy me dinner first. Oh, before wow, hey.
Take me out to dinner. Hey yo. That's a TikTok reference.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that short will look good under my necklace.
Since he spelled it wrong, he's not getting a shirt anymore.
Now we have to send him half of a pair of shorts because he wanted one short, a short. He will receive, and then he'll have to tune in next month to try to win the other half of the short.
The crazy thing is, I think he already has an OTM T-shirt, so maybe we might have to up the ante and get him a sweatshirt or something. I don't know. We'll have to talk.
He's gonna try to get us to buy him like a Mikey's Morning Coffee T-shirt from Matt Haskell. Comes on our show with a T-shirt. He didn't know he was winning, and then wants and not that shirt.
Well, that's not how this works. We're supporting the OTM right here. And speaking of supporting OTM, support us next week for episode 74. We probably won't talk a lot of wrestling. We're going to make it a Christmas theme because I am off Christmas Eve. Or do you get Christmas? Yeah, you definitely get Christmas Eve off.
Yeah, maybe you do like a cocktail party, a little social happy hour, a little mixer. Come up with some power rank the best Nightmare on Elm Street, Night Miracle Before Christmas on Elm Street, Christmas bash matches.
All those.
Trash. Has there ever been a good match on? I don't know. They're all taped.
There was one Christmas. Yeah, most of them are. There was one Christmas where Santa got ran over by Alberto Del Rio. And I was watching with my brother, who obviously still believes in Santa, and he was genuinely concerned that Santa would not deliver our gifts. Thankfully, Santa did come to the Gagliardi household.
Oh man, I could only imagine the terror that Ryan felt in that moment as well, for sure.
Nobody had a bigger heel reaction than Alberto Del Rio did on an episode of Christmas Monday Night Raw. That's something I'll never forget, and that's wrestling, baby.
That is wrestling.
Tuck, that's all I got for him. Why don't you send us home, my friend?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Congrats again to Mikey Wilson, 2-time MVM. I
more than two. I think he's 3-time.
It's 3-time. It's 2 currently because I'm still in debt. I have the envelope with his name on it. I just have to fill it out. So this is very convenient. T-shirt's not going to fit in that envelope, though. We're going to have to buy that differently, get that shipped. But next week on Christmas Eve, correct?
No, it's the day before Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, because we're off on Christmas Eve. We work, you work, and then we're off the next day, and then we'll do that the night before the next day that you're off, and then we're here. And it's going to be
you're really taking me all around mentally, and I can't follow. But hey, don't forget about December 30th either.
No, that's do we preview some of the nominees next week? I don't know. We got to talk.
We could do that because there probably won't be much like actual wrestling to discuss.
Roll out some of the polls, kind of start, taking our gracious fans out to dinner, as Queenie Gerard would say. But tune into us on TikTok at Pod on the Mark, at Pod on the Mark on Twitter, at _OTSN on all the socials for the Overtime Sports Network. And we will see you next week. Thank you for listening and watching the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.